This Fujitsu computer, produced in February 2008, was at one time extremely usable. It looks very tired now, but was once a place for someone to do some word processing, look at the internet, or even install a new browser with Internet Explorer. But for about 4 or 5 years now, it's been gathering dust in the corner. It's actually the first computer I had ever purchased. Actually, onto the specs. This PC has an AMD 64X2 5000 Plus, 2 cores, 2 threads. Very good mid-range choice for 2008. It came standard with a 500GB hard drive, very, very fancy for the time. The original one is still in here, but I always think it's going to turn into a dolphin because keep on clicking. Surprisingly, it came with 8GB of DDR2 in dual channel. For the graphics card, well, didn't originally have one, but thankfully I had an NVIDIA GeForce 6200 with 128 megs of DDR VRAM. Of course, in my infinite wisdom, I saw it had a fan header on it, and I taped an old DVR fan onto it. You can pick up a PCI version of this card for around £20 a day if you're lucky. Anyway, let's get into the benchmarks. First game, old school RuneScape. Just sat on a black screen and did nothing. It's quite surprising as this runs on nearly anything. Second game, OpenTTD, ran around 30 FPS consistently, and only dropped if there was a significant amount of movement from vehicles. Overall, very playable experience on this machine. Third game, Toy Soldiers, always crashed upon starting. Honestly, didn't know what I was expecting. The fourth game, Robot Arena 3, with the settings at 1024x768, with settings at lowest, ran about 1 FPS. This is probably due to the game being the most recent and the awful ability for this GPU to process 3D graphics. Fifth game, Rollercoaster Tycoon 2, was playable, but at 800x600 only ran around 25 FPS. The 2D isometric graphics pulls off some impressive visuals for the day. The mix of an old processor and even older GPU is probably why it struggles so much with this classic game. And sixth and final game is of course Five Nights at Freddy's. This ran at 15 FPS, which I would count as playable, but whatever you want to count as playable, you do that. Anyway, in conclusion, it's usable if you're going to play old titles, do some word processing and light browsing. I actually wrote this script on the machine. I thoroughly enjoyed coming back to this PC and going down memory lane, although it may be nostalgic for me. Don't spend your hard-earned money on something like this and save for something much better instead. So with the conclusion, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.